controllers. They ask them to give them permits ya wafanyakazi kwa any place.
Boss, hii sasa ndio final. Inaitwa transmission line. These lines transmit power from big stations like Olkaria at 200 up to 500,000 volts. Kazi yangu is to let 500,000 volts of electricity flow around me while I work so that Kenyans can get power. Hii kazi inahitaji bravery, strength, confidence, courage, hizo vitu zote. Kila saa nikiambia watu kazi mimi nafanya, wananiuliza why, na mimi nawauliza why not. Somebody has to do it. For them, for you. Shine on Kenya, pamoja tuangane.
In 3, 2, 1, Pesa Mfukoni!
The NYOTA project's business support component is disbursing business startup capital to beneficiaries who have completed the mandatory 3-day business skills training. The NYOTA project is on course to empower more than 100,000 youths in Kenya to start businesses with an equal distribution to all 1,450 wards, targeting at least 70 beneficiaries in each ward. Join us live on Monday, the 19th of January 2026 from the Moi Sports Center Kasarani in Nairobi County as the youth beneficiaries from Nairobi, Kiambu and Kajiado counties are set to be awarded. His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, will be the chief guest during the disbursement live on KBC TV from 10 a.m. NYOTA, Kuza, Imarisha, Endeleza Vijana.
Good evening and welcome to Easy Friday. We are closing out the week with a look at the stories shaping our world, from key global developments to the business headlines moving markets and the sports action making waves. Everything you need to know is coming up. Let's get started. This is Easy Friday. My name is Carren, Kibbet. Now, investigations into an incident where CCTV footage shows police officers assaulting a group of men playing pool in Nandi Hills town have commenced. According to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, several victims and witnesses have been identified and contacted. The Inspector General of the National Police Service has also ordered a comprehensive and swift investigation into the incident as the victims called for justice.
This CCTV footage dated 10th of January 2026 shows this group of men enjoying a game of pool at 11:51 p.m. The calm is however disrupted as a group of police officers is seen storming the premises, ordering everyone to lie down. The men comply as they are ordered to showcase their national identification cards. What would follow was 5 minutes of assault. The officers would then exit. The clip has caused uproar among members of the public demanding accountability.
Kama kulikuwa na makosa, tungetaka kutarajia hao wapelekwe station. Tungekuwa na kesi ya kusema wajibu walikosa hii na ile. Kwa nini aliwapiga watu wenye walikuwa wamelalishwa chini? Kwa nini walitumia fimbo yenye haistahili kupiga binadamu?
Kwanza kama sisi wa jamii ya Wanandi, kutandika mwanaume style hiyo Sisi tunapinga kama wase,
na pia hata kwa serikali ya kaunti waweze kutuelezea kwamba kama kuna biashara ambayo haiko halali pia tuweze kuambiwa.
Some of the affected have already recorded statements to the police.
Mmoja akanigonga hapa kwa mkono. Hadi saa hii sijapona. Nikarudi. Ikabidi nimelala na wakaendelea kutuchapa. So hatuelewi tulikuwa tumekosea nani juu hakuna notice ilikuwa imetolewa ati hii saa fulani hatufai kuwa town. So tunataka justice.
Let me be patient that we will have investigation carried out, and then finally we'll get the conclusion.
It's barbaric, it is unacceptable, it's inhuman, it's unconstitutional, it's illegal. And I must say that that is not what we expect of our police service. Those officers who will be found to have committed that act will be arrested, they will be charged, and I can assure you that they will also lose their jobs if they are found to be guilty.
In a statement, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, has condemned the incident, saying it has deployed a rapid investigations team to the scene to conduct thorough inquiries to establish the sequence of events, assess the conduct of officers involved, and determine culpability. IPOA has so far established that the incident also affected other establishments, including bars and hotels within Nandi Hills town. The National Police Service has also condemned the behavior, terming it barbaric. The Internal Affairs Unit has been ordered to conduct swift investigations and finalize their work within 3 days. According to the National Police Service, any officer found culpable will be dealt with accordingly. Nandi Governor Stephen Sang has condemned the incident, calling for thorough investigations. Nancy Okware, Easy Friday.
Now, a multi-agency team led by the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NYOTA, has netted a haul of illegal liquor in a sting operation in Kapsabet town, Nandi County, targeting the sale, distribution and storage of illicit alcohol within urban centers. The operation, conducted in collaboration with security agencies, was part of sustained government efforts to protect public health and dismantle networks behind the illegal liquor trade. Officers raided a godown within the town and recovered 900 cartons of the illicit liquor. The crackdown was later extended to several entertainment spots, resulting in the arrest of several suspects and the impounding of a vehicle suspected to be used in ferrying the illicit brew. Speaking to the media, NYOTA's Simon Mwangi said the liquor is suspected to be smuggled, adding that the crackdown on illegal alcohol will continue.
We have reports of deaths that have emanated from what is suspected to be the consumption of this alcohol. Our crackdowns are ongoing. We are not relenting. We are going to continue carrying out these operations. And we are putting all these people who are conducting this kind of business on notice. The government is coming for you, and we will seize your property because it is going to be treated as proceeds of this illicit trade.
Now, people living with HIV in Nairobi County have called on the judiciary to dismiss a case challenging a 208 billion shillings US government funding for Kenya's health sector. Tens of Kenyans living with HIV took to the streets of Nairobi on Friday in a demonstration against the case, which was filed at the High Court last December by Busia's Senators Omkia Omtata. The groups warned that blocking the funds could reverse years of gains and put over 1.4 million Kenyans at risk.
Monday morning in Nairobi Central Business District, health advocates and people living with HIV held a peaceful march in several streets leading to Supreme Court and Parliament buildings. Armed with banners bearing messages on the war against HIV/AIDS, they walked while chanting and even sitting on the tarmac as a sign of displeasure over a court petition seeking to halt the Kenya-US government-to-government 208 billion shillings health funding deal.
1.4 people living with HIV, they are living healthy because of the support we are getting, and the care they are getting from the support.
And I think that if NYOTA enter or working in this thing, it might interrupt the treatment and care for our people in the country.
Money, they say, is crucial in sustaining life-saving treatment for HIV, tuberculosis and malaria.
Some of us have been jobless for the longest time, since February last year when the cut was funding. So at least we are here standing crying. He has to hear our appeal, because we need this in order for us to have negative babies.
Okia Omtata, he's a senator, Busia County. Busia County is one of the county that is hard hit by triple threat, and is aware of that. So when he's blocking the support that is coming to support HIV treatment amongst especially the young people, I think there is a lot to be desired.
The groups argue that donor support, including PEPFAR and Global Fund resources, has enabled uninterrupted access to antiretroviral drugs, prevention services and healthcare workers across the country. The groups are now urging the judiciary to redirect the matter to Parliament, warning that court action risks delaying critical health services.
Surprisingly, when there was a funding cut, no politician spoke, no member of parliament spoke, no senator spoke. But when the US funding has come now and they want to help Kenya to continue forward with providing care to people who have TB, malaria and people who have HIV, a senator has gone to court. We want Parliament to take their responsibility seriously and not to be running to court to block dialogue. They need to sit in Parliament and debate health issues.
They say they will escalate nationwide demonstrations if the petition is not withdrawn. The matter is set to come up for hearing later this month. For persons living with HIV in the country, the war against HIV is not yet over. Any funding for them is vital in as far as the war is concerned. Reporting for KBC Channel 1 from Parliament, my name is Joseph Ohungu.
Thank you, Joseph Wahungu, for that report. Moving on, Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, Kipchumba Murkomen, has called upon leaders in the Coast region to work closely with his ministry to curb juvenile criminal gangs. Speaking in Mombasa County during a consultative meeting with the Coast Parliamentary Group, the CS noted that the government has put measures in place, including the deployment of 10,000 police officers who are undergoing training at the moment. At the same time, he noted that the fight against trafficking of drugs in the country has intensified, and those apprehended will face the full wrath of the law, with their assets sold and the resources used to build rehabilitation centers across the country.
On the juvenile gangs, I want to say that we have made significant progress. We want to partner with the leaders to find ways of making sure that we eliminate this problem completely. We need to have a Kazi sort of climate works program, or Kazi Mtaani sort of a program that will ensure that they are engaged, and also a program to support them to go to technical colleges so that they can be able to live a different life. We did recruitment recently, so the 10,000 police officers recently recruited are now undergoing training, and by September, October, they will all have been deployed to help improve the strength on the ground. And I must say that a lot of work is going on, and because the president has declared that this is the year that we must work to eliminate the problem of drugs in the country, I have shared the strategies with the leaders. Our work is to ensure that we eliminate, arrest the main traffickers, the transporters, and as the president announced, we are going to go also not just for the drugs, or not for arresting them, we'll go for their properties, and to make sure that those properties are sold and the resources are used to build rehabilitation centers.
Now, Ugandan opposition leader Bobi Wine has been placed under house arrest a day after elections that early results show the incumbent Yoweri Museveni firmly in the lead at 76% of votes counted so far. The vote followed a tense campaign marked by internet shutdown on the eve to the election. Museveni has ruled Uganda for 40 years. The final presidential and parliamentary results are expected by early Saturday.
Nearly half of the polling stations have so far submitted their results, with the long-reigning Museveni appearing to be headed for his 7th term in office. The latest figures from the Electoral Commission of Uganda indicate that President Museveni has so far garnered 75.38% of the votes tallied, giving him a commanding lead over the 7 rivals he was battling for the position with. His arch-rival, Robert Chagulanyi, alias Bobi Wine, has 20.71% of the total votes tallied, with the remaining candidates garnering less than 4% of the total vote cumulatively.
Chagulanyi Sentamu Robert, 1,414,619, constituting 20.71% of the total votes cast. Yoweri Tuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, 5,148,845,000, constituting 75.38 valid votes cast. The total votes altogether valid are 7,744,000.
On his X account, however, Bobi Wine, who now claims he has been placed under house arrest, has urged his followers to ignore the results, which he has termed as fake, noting that the people of Uganda will have the final say. Bobi has also alleged massive electoral irregularities, further saying that Uganda police and military were involved in repressing his agents in polling stations. Meanwhile, Kenyans along the common border with Uganda have been warned against making unnecessary visits to the country. Busia County Commissioner Stephen Orinde says transport in and out of the country remains potentially disrupted, but assured those living in the border county of their security ahead of the expected results declaration.
Wakati Tanzania walikuwa wanafanya uchaguzi, tulipoteza maisha ya Wakenya pande ile. Tunaomba Mungu kitu kama hiyo sifanyike tena, lakini sasa vitu kama hiyo ndio inafanya tunatoa tahadhari ya kwamba wacha wananchi wa avoid kuingia huko mpaka wamalizane na hiyo shughuli.
Long distance truck drivers in the meantime have expressed their frustration with the Ugandan government following the suspension of internet and social media apps, claiming the communication was greatly hindered.
Jamu ndio iko kubwa juu watu wakenda manyumbani kwenda kupiga kura na kuwa na vikwazo mingi kwa barabara. Kuna roadblocks mingi sana.
Kwa laini pale tunachukuanga kama umekaa sana ni 3 hours. Lakini leo nimekaa kutoka jana saa 12 jioni hadi sasa hivi.
John Jacob Kuria, Easy Friday.
And John Jacob Curia's report leads us to a very fast short break right here on Easy Friday. Don't go too far. I'll be back with more reports shortly.
Imagine 24/7 monitoring system voltage and frequency to ensure it's no more, no less. Welcome to National Control Center. This is where we control the country's power generation. These screens enable us to see the entire network, the generation, and the demand. They also enable us to achieve the balance. Everything has to be at the right frequency and the right voltage within the right margins. Otherwise, we'll have poor customer power supply quality or even power system collapse. From Olkaria Geothermal, 7 Forks Hydros, and other generation sites, you have to generate power, transmit it, deliver it to the substations, all the way to the transformer, and finally to you. My name is Engineer Teacher Pamoja Doanga.
Kila Jumamosi saa 1 jioni kuna sauti mbili zinazotawala anga ya habari. Dada wawili pacha, magwiji wa ulingo wa habari.
Karibu sana katika Dira ya Magwiji.
Magwiji kwa upekee wa sauti, mtindo na maarifa.
Katika enzi ya sasa iliyosheheni mabadiliko, tuko ange kukuletea taarifa, fafanuzi kutoka kila pembe ya dunia.
Jamila na Wanjiru wanakupeleka kwenye safari ya taarifa, uchambuzi na uhodari wa matukio yanayotikisa dunia.
Tunajizatiti kukupa taarifa sahihi na kwa wakati.
Habari kwa jicho la kitaalam.
Tuna hamu na hamamu katika kuuliza maswali stahiki yenye kuwajibisha.
Na sauti ya uhalisia.
Tupe sikio na macho kwa taarifa za kina.
Dira ya Magwiji, pacha wa habari. kila Jumamosi saa 1 jioni hapa KBC Channel 1.
Kaya Musha. It is always a good time on Bridge over Congo.
Catch us every Saturday from 10 p.m. till midnight.
Join me, the Rumba Supreme Leader and the Grand Ayatollah Simeon Mfumo Kimbango and
Winnie Marie Jose, Bridge over Congo.
Mungu esilaka na nzungu te kasielenge Mungu esilaka na
Chumvi huyeyuka chunguni lakini ladha yake hubakia.
Welcome back. For those joining us right now, this is Easy Friday. Now, President William Ruto has called on the Dawodi Bora community to deepen its partnership with government as Kenya accelerates its push to become a first world economy, citing the community's growing role in housing, healthcare, education, infrastructure, and human capital development. The president says Kenya's journey from a developing to a first world economy will only succeed through strong partnerships with credible investors, institutions, and communities that are already embedded in the country's social and economic fabric. Speaking during an official visit to the Al Jamia Tus Saifa's campus in Carren, Nairobi, the president praised the Dawodi Bora community for what he described as quiet but consistent contributions that have uplifted lives and strengthened national cohesion for generations.
Kenya is embarking on a bold journey to transform into a first world nation with a focus on infrastructure, energy, education, housing and healthcare. The Dawodi Bora community has been recognized as a strategic partner.
You have lived among us. You have invested here. You have uplifted lives. It's the kind of partnership every nation treasures. And Kenya does.
The government's ambitious plans include generating 10,000 megawatts of electricity to power industries and constructing over 30,500 kilometers of roads, including 2,500 kilometers of dual carriageways.
The housing program is not just about houses. It's about jobs. It's about dignity. It's about lifting people who live in neighborhoods and in spaces that do not have water, do not have sanitation, do not have electricity or roads.
Healthcare is also a key focus, with hospitals supporting universal health coverage.
28.5 million Kenyans today are registered in SHA as part of our program of making sure that access to health is universal, reaches every citizen.
Education is central to Kenya's transformation, with its budget increased by 200 billion shillings.
Our plan and target is to make sure that 60% of learners engage in the STEM space as we seek to build a professional, a highly professional workforce that will drive the transformation of Kenya into the future.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi emphasized that the community has been integral to Kenya's economy, promoting unity, philanthropy and peace since the 1870s.
The Bora community in Kenya has been active in popularizing cricket, thus contributing to Kenya's sporting culture and advancing our nation's sports diplomacy.
This institution reflects these priorities in practice. The order, the cleanness, and the discipline across this campus speak clearly of an institution committed to excellence, respect, and purpose.
The values that this community holds are values that we need in our country. Those are values that we need because in that society there is respect, there is kindness. You look out for each other, for your brother, you look out for your sister.
The partnership represents a model for private-public collaboration, positioning Kenya to deliver infrastructure, human capital and social development at scale. Later, the president toured the ongoing construction of the Bomas International Convention Complex in Nairobi County. The project employs up to 3,000 workers daily and is on track for completion by May this year.
Na hii ikimalizika, mimi nawapangia mahali ingine ya kwenda kufanya kazi. Hii tunasukuma kusukuma. Si tumekubaliana tutajenga mpaka hii Kenya ikae kama Singapore? Ama mnasemaje? Si mumesema tujenge mpaka Kenya ifanane na Singapore? Bas, mimi niko tayari, mkimaliza hapa niko na mpango yenu ingine. Kazi yenu ni kujenga, mkijenga, alafu tunasukuma Kenya inasonga mbele.
Ben Chumba, Easy Friday.
Now the hope of Wanjiru, the top student at Park Road Primary School, of joining Alliance Girls hangs in the balance. Wanjiru, who scored 68 points in the Kenya Junior School Education Assessment (KJSEA), now waits for fate after her parents, who do menial jobs, are unable to pay her fees and other school requirements owing to poverty. Timothy Kipnusu visited the family of Martha Wangari, who aspires to be an engineer at Gikomba Kamkunji constituency, Nairobi County, and filed the following report.
In the stark in the middle of Gikomba Market lies the home of the 16-year-old Mother Wanjiru, the top student at Park Road Primary School. The state of affairs here is indeed worrying. Nevertheless, this is where Wanjiru calls home.
I would like to encourage anyone out there who wants to help a student like me and offer help, because dreams are valid.
Humble it is, but she managed to score 68 points in the KGCSEA examinations.
I feel bad that other students have joined, but I'm here at home. It's because my dad's budget is very pressed and my school fee cannot fit in.
The class teacher Damaris Mugo, who helped us locate our home, was short of words.
If resilient was a name, then that is mother. Me today, I don't know what to say. I've never visited mother at home. All along, I didn't know that this is the kind of situation mother lived in, because mother is ever happy. Mother could answer all questions, did all work well, perfectly. She never showed anything to do with what I'm witnessing today.
Her mother, Catherine Mwangi, revealed to us how her child worked tirelessly, saying she has been leading since she joined grade 3.
Tunataka msaada kwa sababu hatuna kitu. Kutoka standard 1 alikuwa anapata namba 1. Hata ukimpatia nini kazi alikuwa anafanya haraka.
After kufanya mtihani alitufurahisha tena zaidi, ingawa maisha iko chini na hali yetu haiko sawa kama wazazi wake, lakini alitufurahisha, mioyo yetu ilijawa na furaha na tukawa pamoja tukishukuru Mungu na kufurahia ushindi wa mother.
Education stakeholders led by Park Road Primary School Principal Mary Muhari has revealed that many students have not joined school for lack of fees, calling on well-wishers to extend their helping hand.
If you have something that you can give to someone else, please do. Share that piece of cake to someone else. I want to call upon the parents or other people who are well endowed, because we are not the same, we are not placed the same in this society. Kindly pick up just a child, just one, and pay fee for that kid.
The government is considering extending further the reporting date for students at grade 10, which expires today, to allow the students who have not yet reported to do so.
Yesterday, I did hear the PS say that they're going to extend the time of reporting. And this will give the parents an opportunity time to go and look for good schools, wherever they want their learners to be. I want to believe that before end of this month, every learner will be placed and every learner will be in school. CBE is a unique curriculum and a very nice one, and we are looking forward to even having more children placed.
You can help Mother Wangari pursue higher education through Daniel Mushoki Mwangi, M-Pesa number 0759 656610. 0759 656610.
The dream of Mother Wanjiru, a student who performed exemplary well in the KGCE examination, having scored 68 points of becoming a software engineer, now hangs in the balance if well-wishers and philanthropists do not come to her aid. Timothy Kipnusu for Easy Friday, Nairobi.
The Teachers Service Commission has reiterated teachers' preparedness in the implementation of competency-based education. TSC CEO Evelyn Mitei said teachers have been retooled in new learning areas and are well equipped to meet the evolving education standards. Mitei spoke in Homa Bay County as she joined County MP Joyce Osogo Bensouda in the launch of the 7th Back to School program. Achola Simon reports.
A week into the new term and the first cohort of grade 10 is settling in. Teachers Service Commission Chief Executive Officer Evelyn Mitei has reiterated the Commission new learning areas. Mitei said the Commission has retooled teachers in the new learning areas to ensure they are well equipped to implement the evolving need of the CBE curriculum. Many schools had voiced concern over the shortage of teachers in the new areas, a sports and arts pathway introduced for the first time in senior schools. Mitei spoke in Homa Bay County as she graced the 7th edition of Back to School program by Homa Bay County MP Joyce Osogo Atieno Bensouda.
And I also congratulate Honorable Joyce Bensouda, Mama County, for working hard and enabling your learners to finish that stage of learning.
The program seeks to have at least 10,000 students access bursaries, benefit from sanitary hygiene program, and acquire skills through trainings in TVETs.
Under the Education Support Service, 2.9 million, Homa Bay, 5.99 million, Karachuanyo, 6.99 million, Mbiwa, Mirogi, 10 million, Suba South, 10 million, Suba North, 10 million, St. Paul's Legesa. Today we are celebrating the 7th. 9,593,000. And Teach Mangeyo and hashtag Teach Kodongruap, work and development, kazi na maendeleo.
Achola Simon, Easy Friday, Homa Bay County.
Now, the High Court has had final submissions in a virtual hearing of a petition challenging the legality of the Social Health Insurance Fund and the Social Health Authority, with Senator Okiya Omtata and other petitioners arguing that the new health financing framework is unconstitutional. The government, however, has defended the reforms, saying they were lawfully enacted and are aimed at strengthening universal health care. Our court reporter, Letua Debra, has more details.
Appearing virtually before Justice Bahati Mwamuye, Senator Okiya Omtata argued that the Social Health Insurance Fund amounts to double taxation, saying universal health care should be funded through general taxation rather than mandatory worker contribution. He faulted the process used to introduce new framework, stating that the Senate was not involved in approving amendments to the Finance Act. Omtata also questioned discrepancy in loan repayment timelines and raised concerns over alleged data protection violation during the transition from the National Health Insurance Fund to the new system. The petition challenged the government's decision to replace NHIF with Social Health Insurance Fund and establish the Social Health Authority as part of the universal health coverage reforms that introduced compulsory contributions. In response, the government opposed the petition, maintaining that the parliament followed due process and that the reforms are necessary to expand access to affordable health care. The respondents urged the court to dismiss the case. Justice Bahati Mwamuye has reserved the matter for judgment on March 12, 2026. Letua Debra for Easy Friday.
Now, Iftin FM radio station, an affiliate of the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation that broadcasts in the Somali language in partnership with the Department of Special Programs, has donated assorted foodstuffs and essential commodities to Naja's Children's Home in Garissa County. Speaking during the handover ceremony, Iftin FM head of department Hasim Adan has said the donation was a demonstration of the corporation's commitment to giving back to society, especially to vulnerable and less privileged members of the community. The gesture is also part of activities slated to mark the station's 10th anniversary.
For many years, IFTIN FM has been actively involved in corporate social responsibility initiative aimed at supporting less fortunate in the society away from their regular broadcasting duties. IFTIN FM radio station, an affiliate of Kenya Broadcasting Corporation that broadcasts in Somali language, extended a helping hand to vulnerable children at Naja Children's Home in Garissa County. In partnership with Department of Special Program, the team led by IFTIN FM Head of Department Kasim Aden and corporate team donated an assortment of foodstuff and other essential commodities, including mattress, rice, beans, soap, sanitary towels and blankets to the institution.
We have donated food and non-food stuff. We've donated rice, beans, mattresses, sanitary towels, and a lot of other very good things that are going to sustain these children in this institution.
IFTIN FM Head of Department Kasim Aden Hassam noted that the initiative aims to support the welfare of children at the home while strengthening the station bond with the community itself.
And we have asked ourselves which institution is the most needy. And we have identified Najah Children's Home as one of the institutions that have excelled over the years and that have a lot of children that are from not only have lost their parent, but are also from very poor background.
The team also took the opportunity to urge other institutions and corporate organizations to emulate KBC's spirit of giving and actively support community development initiatives.
No child shall go without education because of either drought or because of lack of essential items like these ones. So we also want to appeal to other partners. You can come on board, let us partner with KBC. We go to other places. We want to ensure that devolution is not only done by the county governments, even as is in Nairobi, we use our stations. We go to the marginalized people and ensure that they're well taken care of.
CFM has been involved in a lot of corporate social responsibilities over the years. And because we are celebrating our 10th anniversary, we said this time we are going to do very big, and we have done it. And today, the management has received us, and they have acknowledged receipt of what we have brought here.
Management at Naja Children's Home welcomed the donation, saying the support had come at a critical time when many families are struggling due to the ongoing drought.
We have about 250 orphans who are being supported in this institution, so we really appreciate, and whatever they have done is a kickback to the community, which is recommendable.
Sisi kama walimu tunashukuru zaidi kwa sababu bila hii chakula watoto pia hawezi wakaishi kwa mashule zetu vile ambavyo vinastahili. Kwa hivyo hii chakula imekuja wakati ambao inastahili, first term of the term, wakati mambo ni magumu.
Naja's Children's Home currently hosts more than 250 orphan learners drawn from across northern Kenya.
Moving on, the government's push to grow Kenya's aviation sector has received a boost from a new international training pathway that could see hundreds of young Africans access advanced aerospace education in China without bearing the full cost of studying abroad. Kenya-based aviation institutions have established a training collaboration with one of Asia's leading aerospace universities, positioning Nairobi as a regional launchpad for pilots, aircraft engineers, and aviation managers at a time when Africa faces a widening aviation skills gap.
This push to grow Kenya's aviation sector is receiving a boost from a new international training pathway aimed at preparing African youth for a fast expanding global aviation industry.
Kenya is a growing tourist destination, and a lot of the students from the past, they want to pursue the aviation sector. And I truly believe that these students will be the future leaders. So we need to give them, we need to show them a great path, an affordable path, because especially from the developing nations.
Kenya-based aviation institutions have established a training collaboration linking local programs to one of Asia's leading aerospace universities, positioning the country as a regional gateway for aviation skills development.
This gives the students, the young people, an opportunity to get to know what pilots go through. It gives an opportunity to the pilots to get to know what engineers go through. It gives also the engineers and the pilots get to know what the cabin crews go through. And it also gives the pilots, engineers, cabin crew to understand what the flight operations go through.
Africa's aviation market is among the world's fastest growing, but industry experts warn that the continent faces a serious shortage of pilots, aircraft engineers, and maintenance specialists.
In Africa, what we need mostly is the aircraft maintenance. People who can maintain the aircraft and ensure that that aircraft remains almost to 100% status the aircraft was manufactured. That's why it's very important to collaborate with universities and institutions that have got the capability of design and manufacture so that you can learn from them.
The collaboration allows students to complete part of their training locally before advancing to overseas. The model lowers costs for parents, reduces dropouts, and eases the cultural transition for young students studying abroad.
And since we have this kind of policy of collaboration, I think that students may save a lot of money, right? You know, if the longer students choose to study abroad, the more expensive it will be, right? So since they can choose to study maybe only 1 or 2 years in our university, and maybe for the beginning, for the first beginning years they study here, or maybe, right? So I think they can save some money.
Graduates of the program are trained to global aviation standards, allowing them to work anywhere in the world. Industry leaders say this is critical for a sector where safety and uniform standards are non-negotiable. Ben Chumba, Easy Friday.
In 3, 2, 1, pesa mfukoni.
The NYOTA project's business support component is disbursing business startup capital to beneficiaries who have completed the mandatory 3-day business skills training. The NYOTA project is on course to empower more than 100,000 youths in Kenya to start businesses with an equal distribution to all 1,450 wards, targeting at least 70 beneficiaries in each ward. Join us live on Monday, the 19th of January 2026 from the Moi Sports Center Kasarani in Nairobi County, as the youth beneficiaries from Nairobi, Kiambu and Kajiado counties are set to be awarded. His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, will be the chief guest during the disbursement, live on KBC TV from 10 a.m. NYOTA, Kuza, Imarisha, Endeleza Vijana.
Guess how long line zetu za stima ziko?
Bright moments. Moments that inspire, enlighten, and give hope, joy, and clarity. We move forward together, shining and with purpose. For years, we have been your trusted partners that have kept the path illuminated into a bright shared future. Empowering education, information, and entertainment, bringing light to homes, schools, shops, and hospitals in urban centers and villages. Our aim is to do everything possible to keep dreams alive through dedication and power. Kenya Power.
Pamoja twang'aa.
Welcome back to Easy Friday. Now, for decades, pig rearing in Kenya has been associated with one unmistakable thing: a strong, foul smell that announces the presence of a pigsty long before one sees it. However, in Githunguri, Kiambu County, the long-held image is being quietly abandoned with the introduction of new farming techniques. The following report, filed by Aaron Marie, takes us through these advancements in farming.
There is no stench here. Instead, this piggery looks more like a controlled modern setting than a traditional farm. At the center of this transformation is David Makimei.
We have
the chuma that we call the steel, but we have galvanized them to avoid rusting. And then underneath where they are sleeping, for the mothers and the young ones, the piglets, we have actually imported from China the ones that look like plastic. The reason is they keep warm for the young ones.
A pig farmer who has embraced modern technology to redefine how pigs are reared and perceived.
When you go to the other side, when they are now weaned, they are able now to sleep even on the what we call locally manufactured floors. And those ones we deal with the concrete together with metal.
Makimei practices zero-grazing pig farming, a system that focuses on proper housing, balanced nutrition, clean water, and strict health management, all designed for optimal growth and higher profitability.
All cage, phase 1 and phase 2, we estimate to have between 500 and 550 pigs at a go. They can fit in this whole farm.
The pigs are housed in raised cages built with a slated floor design, allowing waste to fall through small gaps into a pit below.
Once we remove the valves, that thing goes straight to where the sewerage is.
This design ensures pigs never come into contact with their waste, reducing exposure to harmful bacteria and disease-causing pathogens. The piggery structure itself is a product of collaboration. It was designed by Leslie Kimani, an architectural designer based in the United Kingdom, working alongside local engineers.
By around 5 years, that we shall be able to welcome many farmers to work together, and we can have an industry where we can be able to produce good quality meat of pigs.
The result is a system that has reduced labor requirement by nearly 80%.
We have pipes so that first of all we save on labor. The issue of cleaning the place, it has been already taken care of by the whole process.
Feeding and watering are fully automated. Each pig eats according to its capacity, ensuring minimal waste and consistent growth.
This is zero grazing because if you check on even the area of fattening or where we are caging them singly, it is to ensure that they do not lose weight. I said in the beginning that with the pigs it's about weight.
This precision feeding not only improves animal welfare, but also lowers production cost.
We also needed to save as far as the labor is concerned. So one person is able to handle all this. Like now in this farm, already we have 9 females and 7 of them.
The pig's slurry collected below is pumped through valves into a septic tank, then later reused as organic manure for surrounding coffee plantations. This model demonstrates how technology can turn even the most unlikely sectors into engines of innovation, profit, and quiet transformation of rural. Aaron Marie, Easy Friday.
The ongoing drought in Kajiado County is increasingly disrupting the education sector, with school attendance dropping and dozens of learners at risk of missing secondary school altogether. Now, according to the National Drought Management Authority, more than 64,000 families in the county are facing food shortages, with Kajiado Central and West sub-counties among the worst affected. Here is Ian Ziwe with the details.
As the scorching sun continues to blaze in Oiti village in Kajiado Central Sub-County, the ravaging drought is now affecting schools' attendance, with several public primary schools reporting lower learner turnout since schools reopened, as families migrate to neighboring counties in search of pasture and water for livestock.
Wanafunzi wengi tangu tulipofungua shule hawajaingia shuleni, na hii ni wiki ya pili.
Hii ni kwa sababu ya changamoto ya njaa. Wanafunzi wengi hawajarudi shuleni kwa sababu hakuna chakula.
The drought has also disrupted the transition of learners to senior secondary schools, with at least 40 candidates who sat last year's Kenya Junior School Education Assessment unable to report to their respective senior schools due to lack of school fees.
Sometimes we go without eating, as well as sitting for the national exam. We just go without even drinking tea. So naomba tu mtusaidie, tutamtuelimishe ili nianze nitimize ndoto yangu ya kuwa sergeant.
Wanafunzi wamemaliza junior, they are 5. Wale wa Kenya wako primary wako 10. Wale wengine wako secondary wana chochote, anarusha wana fees. Wakikuja nyumbani tunakaa wote na tuna kitu Kenya tunakula nyumbani.
Parents say repeated seasons of drought, including the severe 2020 to 2022 spell, wiped out their livestock, leaving households with little income to support education, as the current conditions continue to strain already vulnerable communities.
Hakuna ng'ombe kabisa, hakuna mfuko, hakuna chochote, na watoto wamejaa. Na mimi yuko mabibi 3, watoto yangu ni mingi, yuko shuleni yote. 5 wamemaliza, grade 9 wote yuko nyumbani.
Residents are calling on the government to intervene and alleviate the already harsh conditions that they have to endure.
Challenges affecting journalists exiting service came to the fore during a Kenya Union of Journalists KUJ sensitization session for KBC KUJ members that took place at the Broadcasting House in Nairobi. Delays in pension remittance are among key challenges facing retiring scribes. KUJ officials reaffirmed the union's commitment to protecting the rights and welfare of journalists, noting that increased membership would strengthen advocacy and collective bargaining within the media industry. This and other stories in the County News Wrap.
Speaking during a sensitization session at the Broadcasting House in Nairobi, the Kenya Union of Journalists addressed concerns over delayed pension payments, saying measures have been put in place to resolve the long-standing issue.
And we are here to consult members so that we can able to identify some of the areas that we need to engage the management. And what we are looking at, welfare of our members. And we know that for almost 10 years, members, their welfare have not been improved. And that the reason why we want to engage the management so that working conditions of members are able to be improved.
Separately, the Kenya Clinical Officers Association North Rift Branch has called on the national and county governments to intervene and reach an agreement with the health workers to restore the health situation that continues to deteriorate due to the ongoing strike.
Tuko kwa laini hatujashughulikiwa bado. Tunaona daktari ni mmoja, hakuna madaktari. Tunaomba usaidizi kwa serikali jamani. Watusaidie ndio tupate kusaidiwa. Tumechoka sana, hata wengine wametoa magati wamerudi.
Also, Kibbet Special Secondary School in Kisumu County has received a 12-classroom complex valued at more than 40 million shillings, a move aimed at building learning facilities for students with visual impairment amid ongoing challenges facing special needs education.
The ministry is committed to ensuring that all learners, even those with disabilities or other special needs, are able to access education in the right environment.
And Migori County has stepped up efforts to protect learners from waterborne diseases by distributing approximately 458 water purifiers to 90 public schools in partnership with Livestraw.
Sharing these filters for the benefit of 458. We will be sharing 458 of them.
In Embu County, the Ministry of Agriculture has urged county governments to put in urgent mitigation measures to protect livestock as drought conditions begin to affect parts of the country.
Karibuni tutaanza mpango wa kuja kwenu. We will see which coolers are which. Vile tutasaidia nyinyi so that the industry, the dairy sector, the dairy industry in Embu can continue to thrive.
Finally, Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi has reaffirmed the Orange Democratic Movement Party's commitment to the broad-based government come 2027 general elections. Speaking during the launch of the last mile connectivity project in Bomet County, Wandai urged Kenyans to remain peaceful as the government remains fully committed to service delivery and national development.
Kule kwetu sisi tushajipanga tayari. Tushajipanga ya kwamba ikifika wakati huo sisi tunaunga mkono Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto. Na tusemi tu, tunasema yale ambayo tunaamini. Kwa sababu sisi tunakumbuka ya kwamba Mheshimiwa Rais ni rafiki yetu wa kweli. Amekuwa akisimama na sisi hizi wakati zote.
Nailongeso, Easy Friday.
And we do apologize for a name mismatch. That was Migori Governor Ochilo Oyako, not CS Kagwe. We do apologize for that. Now moving on, this week keyboard warriors were served with catchy content from Speedy Kenyan Tour to motionless tree hugs. The savage netizens could not help but light up the social media realm with wild comments. And as usual, there were a lot of interesting comments. Take a look.
It's just the beginning of the year and netizens are already interacting with speed content after a certain speed guy visited Kenya. So take a look. From matatu rides.
Karibu Kenya, tuna tabia zetu tu. Lugha ya taifa ni sheng, sheng. Karibu Kenya.
Through maembe eating.
Oh my God! Wow!
And meeting the Kenyan giant.
God damn! Try. This can't be a shoe. This is your shoe size.
To touring the wild. And interacting with the Maasai culture, I Show Speed literally experienced the most of Kenyan beauty. But what also got the netizens typing and deleting is when I Show Speed chased a kid seeking greetings.
Habariako! 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 Habariako!
Kama Muresh cheekily asked, is it by force? Chelsea, mbona utukimbizie watoto? Ziggy wondered, ama Speed ni embarambamba wa maju.
I was confused. I myself. I was confused. I myself.
Well, it's safe to say the man in the beautiful Kenya showcasing tour gained 400,000 subscribers, which is a big hit.
Makofi.
And on this tree hugging story, sasa kama wewe unafanya nini sai hapa ukihug mti?
Juu kila mtu ana hug tu miti.
Wewe enda tu home. It seems there has been a tree-hugging craze in Kenya shortly after Trufena Muthoni broke the record and, well, gained popularity. From this tree hugger...
And another one. And another one.
Bramwell wondered, hey, Bana, everybody is hugging a tree. Saluti wrote, enough of hugging tree nonsense. Mustard Sesh fed up, I think this must be stopped. Driller trying to make sense of the situation wrote, Kenyans have nothing to do, that's why.
Tumefurahia sasa, hata tumeacha kulia, sasa tunasherehekea. Ni sherehe kubwa sana, hata siwezi kusema mengi. Thank you very important.
Winsome with the challenge wrote, mwingine sasa aende a hug porcupine.
Utakufa vibaya wewe na kuhurumia.
Cheming goes, ending the matter. What next after the tree hugging? Well, again, what next? Here is this week's banger. Well, that's it for us. Catch you next week on Savage Netizens for Easy Friday. I am Teresa Mutai.
Kumindo DJ shit. Akisijui nilikosea nini luku juu vile muipiga. Vile muipiga.
This project was started in our district in the year 2008, and we donate hands to amputees whose hands are amputated below the elbow, 5 to 6 inches.
Persons with disabilities across the country need to recognize that they are the voice, and their voices need to be heard. Many caregivers feel lonely and require psychosocial support, but they also need to recognize that you cannot fill from an empty cup. You need to be the voice of your child.
Welcome back to Easy Friday. Let's now take a look at what's making headlines in the world of business. Now, the High Court in Kerugoya has temporarily stopped importation of duty-free rice, and in a case challenging the shipment is hard and determined. Politicians from rice-growing areas have argued that a number of traders are importing the duty-free rice despite an ongoing case.
Justice Edward Muridhi has directed the Kenya Revenue Authority to impound any duty-free rice imported in the country over the next 3 days. In the petition, a section of politicians alleged that some traders were still importing duty-free rice despite a court order stopping the importation until the case is determined later this month. The Kerugoya locals have sworn against any duty-free rice shipments, saying any imports will be in contempt of court. The government had authorized importation of 500,000 metric tons of duty-free rice to plug a deficit, of which 250,000 has already been shipped in. The courts had stopped importation of the remaining 250,000 tons after 2 cases were filed, one by farmers and the other one by politicians from rice-growing areas. Farmers argue that importation will distort prices and affect the ability to sell their grain.
Nyinyi mnaleta mchele ambao iko na ruzuku, wakulima ambao wamelipwa pesa waweze kulima, alafu ikija huku bado mnatoa kondi ambao walipi na kondi. Mnasahau mkulima mchele ametumia mafuta tingatinga ambao iko na kondi. Mnasahau kwamba pembejeo ya kulima mchele amelipia kondi akinunua hizo pembejeo.
They therefore want the government to buy all locally produced rice before allowing any duty-free imports in. During its earlier submission, the government said 750,000 metric tons of rice will be required in the first half of 2026 against a projected domestic production of 110,000 metric tons over the same period. Benson Rioba reporting for Easy Friday.
Now, budget constraints and gaps in coordination are some of the challenges undermining implementation of food safety standards, raising concerns about consumer health and food exports. Speakers at the high-level meeting of the National Codex Committee in Nairobi highlighted on the need for Kenya to treat Codex as a national policy priority.
Codex Alimentarius, commonly known as Codex, is a set of international food safety rules developed by the World Health Organization and the Food and Agriculture Organization. These rules guide countries on how food should be produced, processed, and traded to ensure it is safe for human consumption and accessible across the globe. Kenya uses Codex standards to guide national food laws, border inspections, and export requirements.
We have been struggling to sell our livestock and livestock products into the EU market, and you're told, no, you don't meet the standard. And so, sometimes standards are also used as trade barriers.
Kenya has remained active in Codex, but there is room to do more, particularly at the policy level. Stronger coordination, clear ownership, and sustained support will allow us to use our resources more effectively and to influence standards and directly affect our trade and public health priorities.
They cited several challenges, including budget constraints for food safety standards and uncoordinated integration of Codex activities in government work plans.
I believe with the budget, then you're able to do the work plan and also to include Codex
in your performance contract. Awareness has improved through engagements, but turnover erodes continuity.
By harmonizing food safety requirements, Codex helps prevent foodborne illnesses and protect consumers along increasingly complex global supply chains.
And so all the agreements that we are getting into are really looking at how to make our exports competitive. And therefore standards becomes a key enabler for ensuring that our exports are competitive.
They believe stronger support will help keeping safe food out of the market and give the country a stronger voice in setting the rules that govern global food trade. Trevor Ngendo for Easy Friday.
Plans are underway to set up national animal feed reserves to reduce billions of shillings lost during drought to safeguard livestock and pastoralist livelihoods. Agriculture and Livestock Development Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe highlighted the devastating impact of past droughts, noting that the last one claimed over 2.5 million livestock and caused economic losses of over 50 billion Kenya shillings, crippling pastoralist communities.
Kenya is experiencing a drought crisis following consecutive failed rainy seasons. The National Drought Management Authority has identified 23 counties facing critical food and water shortages, with livestock-dependent regions in the arid and semi-arid lands being the most severely impacted. Severe forage and water scarcity has led to thousands of deaths of cattle, sheep and goats.
County governments ifikirie pia vile tunaweza kusaidia na chakula ya mifugo. If we know for a fact that a drought is coming, let us prepare for the drought as we prepare for human food.
Kagwe says hay, silage and other fodder will be stockpiled as national animal feed reserve depots during the rainy period and released during dry spells.
Watu wanasema tuweke water pans na kila kitu, lakini hata water pan inaisha, inakauka. So we need to think differently.
Under the plan, county governments would lead implementation of the national animal feed reserves and cooperatives acting as delivery agents.
And this can only happen if the national government is also working with the county governments. The county governments must take initiative. It is a devolved function.
A youth hospitality and cruise ship skills development program has been introduced at the Tenderate Integrated Technical and Trainers College in Nandi County to equip young people with key industry skills. Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano says the program is designed to build capacity in culinary arts, catering and beverage services and international hospitality standards. Here is Regina Manyara with the details.
Early in Taptengaleg town in the heart of Nandi Hills, and the rather sleepy center has come alive with a cultural festival that is a nexus for sports and agri-tourism.
Every community waweze warudi wajue kimila yao ilikuwa namna gani, na sio kwa sababu tunataka rudisha watu kwa ukabila. Tunataka kila mtu ajue kimila yake, kwa sababu pahali tuko sasa, this century that we are in, tunaweza monetize, tunaweza geuza hiyo culture yetu mpaka iwe pesa.
However, beyond the cultural exhibition and the immersive magical trail series, those keen on building skills to work on cruise ships or other hospitality facilities can now do so at the Tinderet Integrated Technical and Trainers College.
It is such a historic moment this morning for the achievement that we are celebrating and the start of this hospitality college here in Tinderet, Nandi County.
The initiative targets to equip the youth with skills to tap employment opportunities, both locally and overseas, through structured training, certification, and on-job training.
And this is important because tourism is about creation of jobs. It is about economic empowerment for businesses and communities, and it is a very big honor of foreign currency for our country.
The program is being implemented in partnership with the NYOTA College and the Bandari Maritime Academy, with the first cohort of 100 trainees set to begin training immediately.
This year's Taptengele Cultural Festival has provided a nexus between sports, agriculture, and even matters of capacity building. Why the official launch of a development program that is in partnership with the Bandari Maritime Academy and Utalii College, fostered by the Kenya Tourism Board in an effort to build capacity in the hospitality sector, targeting such hidden gems. I'm Regina Manyara reporting from Tinderet in Nandi County for KBC Channel 1.
Thank you very much, Regina Manyara, for that report. Now, Absa Bank Kenya has been recognized as a top employer for the 2026 by the Top Employers Institute for creating a conducive workplace. Top Employers Institute, which is active in 125 countries and regions, certifies organizations based on the HR best practices. Absa Bank Kenya Chief People Officer Mumbi Kahindo described the recognition as a proud moment that celebrates the company's teamwork and initiatives that prioritizes workers.
The Top Employer certification is one that recognizes organizations globally that are working towards enriching their workplace to be great places to work. As Absa Kenya, our commitment is to build an organization and a culture where our employees and the people who come to work in our organization are excited to show up every day. We continue to enhance the skills of our employees so that they can serve you better. They can also come up with products that respond to the needs that you have.
Now, Kenya is in talks with coffee buyers in United States of America, China and Japan as the country seeks to boost exports and earnings from the cash crop. Speaking during the Kenya National Taste of Harvest competition, Coffee Directorate Director Felix Mutwiri said the focus is on securing more buyers of specialty coffee that fetches premium prices in the international market.
Yep, China is our emerging market. We have Korea is also another emerging market. We have Malaysia. We have North Africa, that is Morocco, Algeria, Egypt. Those are all emerging markets. And the ministry is so much supporting us to make sure that we win on this market.
Improve our coffee, because once we get the best coffee, we get the premium prices on the international market. As you know, our coffee goes through the auction, and the best coffees normally get the best prices. And that's why we have this activity to ensure that Kenya is publicized as a source of specialty coffees in the country.
Now, the U.S. has agreed to cut the tariffs it charges on goods from Taiwan to 15% in exchange for $100 billion in investment aimed at boosting domestic production of semiconductors. The U.S. Commerce Department said the island's semiconductor and technology enterprises has committed to new direct investment worth at least $250 billion. Details of this and other stories in today's International Business Wrap.
The deal also provides carve-outs from tariffs for Taiwanese semiconductor companies investing in the U.S., boosting U.S. production of semiconductor chips, which are found in machines ranging from cars to smartphones, has been a priority for the U.S. since shortages during the COVID-19 pandemic exposed supply chain risks. The US has devoted hundreds of billions of dollars in government subsidies to the semiconductor industry in recent years, helping in securing and expanding investments from the likes of TSMC, the Taiwanese manufacturing giant that dominates the industry. Elsewhere, Europe's largest economy, Germany, returned to modest expansion in 2025. This is a stronger consumer and government spending offset weaker exports hit by higher US tariffs. Germany's troubled economy returned to modest growth last year after 2 years of falling output. This as hopes rise that government spending on bridges, rail lines and defense may help end years of stagnation. The expansion in gross domestic product of 0.2% for 2025 was fueled by stronger consumer and government spending, while exports sagged under the weight of more restrictive US trade policy under President Donald Trump, the German Federal Statistical Office said on Thursday. Finally, India's exports to China soared in December, while shipments to the US declined as President Donald Trump's steep tariffs prompted New Delhi to focus on alternative markets. Exports to China surged 67% in December to $2 billion, in contrast to goods shipped to the US, New Delhi's biggest export market, that dropped 1.8% to $6.8 billion. The US has slapped 50% tariffs on New Delhi, among the highest on any country and even more than on China. India's exports to mainland China have risen nearly 37%, while shipments to Hong Kong have jumped more than 25%. Relations between the two countries have been thawing since Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping met at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in September, sharing a vision of being partners, not rivals.
2025 imekamilika. 2026 tunaingia na matarajio mema ya kumiliki shamba, nyumba, magari na zawadi zingine nyingi kupitia usaidizi na kucheza kwako. Familia yote ya Tushinde tunawatakia kila laheri na mwaka huu uwe mwaka wako wa baraka, bahati, afya njema na mafanikio. Happy New Year.
I'm Annie Rukenya.
I'm the Rukenya, Brian.
I became a teen mom at 14.
I got married in 2009 to a lady called Lucy Wanjera, but now she's late.
We met a man whereby we started cohabiting. After the 9 years, I filed for divorce. We met through my sister. She really pushed both of us from both ends to come together.
Pastor would tell me, hey, there's a chance here. And I said, that's the one. Third person.
He started saying he wants us to be exclusive. Yeah. He wants us to start planning for marriage. I'm like, hey bro, wait. We started introducing the children to one another.
Welcome back. Let's now take a look at the stories making headlines in the world of sports. Now, Aaron Kiplagat, Nympha Kiteta and Emily Jerop were the standout athletes who claimed victories in their respective races on day 2 of the second Athletics Kenya weekend meet at the Thika Stadium. In the men's 10,000 meters, Kiplagat cut the tape in 29 minutes 33.1 seconds, beating Athanas Kioko and Nixon Koech, who had to be content with the silver and bronze respectively. In the women's race, Kiteta was in imperious form, claiming victory in 34 minutes 21.7 seconds. Her rivals Frida Ndinda and Tekla Cheserek could only finish in second and third positions respectively. Jerop produced a well-timed finish to win the women's 800 meters in 2 minutes 6.6 seconds, edging Josephine Sempeyo and Alice Ekiru, who were the other podium finishers.
Nympha Kiteta takes this win from Frida Ndinda, the winner of the 5,000 meters women final. That was
The Kenya Cup men's volleyball reigning champions GSU lived up to their billing as the tournament entered the second day today at NYOTA Stadium, where they silenced Nairobi Prisons by 3-1 in the men's matches. The team had lost the first set 30-32 but bounced back in the remaining sets, which they won 25-19, 25-23 and 25-20 as Kenya Prisons beat NYS comfortably by straight sets of 25-18, 25-13 and 25-14. Equity also stormed to a commanding straight set victory against Kenya Navy, whom they swept aside 25-21, 25-18 and 25-22. The match saw Equity's outside hitter Emmanuel Wamoto named the best player of the match. Now, John Makwata scored a crucial first-half goal to hand Mathare United a vital 1-0 win over Ulinzi Stars in the only FKF Premier League match played today. It was only the 6th win in 17 matches for Mathare United this season.
Mathare United have moved up 3 places to 11th position on the FKF Premier League table after beating Ulinzi Stars 1-0 in the only game played today. John Makwata scored the lone goal in the 38th minute of the match to hand Mathare their 6th win of the season, leaving Ulinzi Stars in 14th position on 17 points, having recorded just 4 wins in the entire first leg of the season.
Anaenda kuicheza John Makwata! He's back, John Makwata. Mlisema sifungi. Nimejaa kwenye mfumo wake John Makwata.
Meanwhile, Bandari FC have signed 2 new players as they seek to improve their performance in the second leg of the FKF Premier League season. Bandari have acquired the services of Herit Mungai Atariza from Mathare United and Cameroonian Bertrand Ngafei Confor, who previously featured for Coastal Union.
Nimefeel poa kwa hapa Bandari. Ni feeling poa sana. Team poa. Kila kitu iko sawa. Na tulianza vibaya kwa sababu hapa na pale mara tumebadilishwa makoches, lakini kulingana sasa hii bondi yenye iko, unity yenye iko, love yenye iko, tarajia mazuri zaidi kwa wachezaji kwa sababu tumeshikana na football ni love tu, hakuna kitu yote tena.
And AFC Leopards will hope to return to the top of the table when they take on APS Bomet at the Nyayo National Stadium in one of the league matches on card tomorrow.
Tunashukuru God kwa hizo points 6 ametupatia. Then ukiangalia pia mood kwa camp, mood ni professional sana, naweza sema pia tangu ni sign kwa hii team. Sijai feel hivi like una feel watu wako ready to go to the next match. Watu wako anxious sikia game ifike, hata ukiangalia zezi vile watu wanawaka. Watu wako very professional.
Mood ya team iko ready, watu wako in high spirit na pia sisi goalkeeping tumeka heads up tukijua the task ahead of us ni kubwa na lazima tu represent team vile inafaa, lazima tu stand up na to take each and every game with the seriousness it deserves.
Leopards are second on the table but on equal 30 points with leaders Gor Mahia, who have 1 goal advantage.
Now, Kenyans stayed on course for their title defense in the ongoing Confederation of Africa Tennis Eastern Africa Junior Individuals Championship when they registered wins in their respective semi-final matches today at Nairobi Club. Jeff Okuku and Betseba Ogamba were among the victors who advanced to the under-16 boys and under-14 girls final set for tomorrow.
The 2026 ITF Confederation of Africa Eastern Africa Tennis Junior Individual Championship entered its second last day at the Nairobi Club, bringing together 9 nations. Kenyans continued showing their prowess and zeal to triumph in home soil after registering wins in their semi-finals. Team bronze medalist in the 2025 Africa Youth Games, Jeff Okuku, claimed a 2-straight sets win over Uganda's Asante Ndilima in the boys under 16 years category. Jeff impressed in the first set, which he claimed 6-3, before sealing victory in the second, winning 6-love.
So tomorrow I will be playing finals, and I hope it will go well. And for me, the experience is good here. Like, it has good level, and it's good to play with different players so that you learn. And for me, that's it.
In the under-14 girls category, Kenya's Bathsheba Ogamba emerged victorious over Rwanda's Camila Siga, claiming a 6-3, 6-3 sets win.
Performance today was good. I was consistent, and I did what I worked with my coaches. And also I was confident when I was playing.
The championship is a key qualification pathway for the upcoming Africa Junior Championships, which will be hosted in Nairobi this March. The championship is also used to improve player rankings and visibility within the regional and continental circuits. Frederick Mwoki for Easy Friday.
Now, all state systems are in place ahead of the 5th edition of the Tinderet Barngetuni Mountain Run, which will be held tomorrow in Tinderet, Nandi County. As Daniel Mwendo reports from Nandi County.
The event will bring together more than 100 athletes who will compete in the 21-kilometer race for both men and women. Winners in each category are set to pocket 500,000 shillings prize money, underscoring the growing stature of the mountain run on the local athletics calendar.
The Tinderet Barngetuni Mountain Run is one of our platforms that we pick the top champions that represent the country in mountaineering. And last year we saw the team going all the way to Spain. And so it is not just about starting small. We are already making headlines and grabbing gold medals at global levels.
The race is part of the Magical Kenya Mountain and Trail Series, an initiative run in collaboration with Athletics Kenya and the Kenya Wildlife.
Home where we have great legends like Eliud Kipchoge, no man is limited, and this is also the home where we have the world beaters. All the international athletes you know of in this country, their home is this Nandi County, Nandi region. Beautiful in scenery, beautiful in hills, valleys, and has a very good warm climate.
The series is designed to promote adventure sports while showcasing Kenya's rich natural landscapes and cultural heritage. There were a number of activities yesterday before the main race, where sports and outdoor lovers went hiking, cycling, including a 4x4 off-road challenge to set the stage for the main competition in the scenic Tinderet region. After the conclusion of today's cultural activities, all eyes now will be heading to the Barngetuni Mountain Run, which is set for tomorrow, with all the athletes looking forward to bag the overall titles. Reporting from Nandi County, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Thank you, Dan, for that report. Now, Ugandan golfer Willie Dowse secured his maiden Sunshine Development Tour East Africa Swing title after holding a final day charge from Kenyan David Waku to win the ABSA Invitational Series at Thika Greens. It was the second time of asking for the 34-year-old his first shot at the Sunshine Development Tour East Africa Swing, having played at Vetlab Sports Club in November last year, while he finished 13th. Willie finished ahead of Njoroge Kibugu and David Wahu, who were joint second on 4 under par 209, taking home a cash reward of 400,000 Kenya shillings. Kibugu and Wahu each pocketed 179,350 shillings. Muthaiga Golf Club, Greg Snow and Uganda's Ronald Rugumayo finished third in the 9th leg that attracted 75 players.
For me to come to Kenya and my first victory as a profession to be in Kenya, it's amazing, and I think it's a lot of big things are going to happen from today, because I remember when Uganda denied me a chance as a kid. I came to Kenya, I had nothing, I was in a bus corridor, I came to Kenya, and then Charan at Royal Nairobi gave me an opportunity to practice and play, and pretty much my career started in Kenya. That's why for me, when I meet Kenyan anywhere in the world, I say, asante sana.
AC Milan came from a goal down to beat Como 3-1 and closed the gap between them and leaders Inter Milan to just 3 points. Bologna also came from a goal down to beat Hellas Verona 3-2 to move up to the 8th on the table.
A stunning performance from goalkeeper Mike Maignan helped AC Milan beat Como 3-1 and move back within touching distance of Serie A leaders Inter Milan.
Nkunku to level it, just about. Butte went the right way, made contact, but he couldn't keep it out. Rafael through for Adrien Rabiot, who's doing it all himself tonight. 2 chances for Milan. Rabiot might be tempted. He is! The Rabiot show tonight at the Senigallia.
Bologna survived late Verona pressure to take all 3 points in a 5-goal thriller, winning 3-2 after also coming from a goal down at Stadio Marcantonio Bentagodi.
Freuler opens the angle for Orsolini. Oh, that's superb! His 6-game goal drought. Miranda. That's a really good ball to Dominguez. Dominguez. Now Odegaard. It's 2. Jens Odegaard with a really clever finish. Nelson. Castro. Oh, yes! Santiago Castro puts the finishing touch on what has been a spectacular first half from Bologna's point of view. Orban. Bradaric at the far post. Orban. And it's gone in off Freuler. And Verona do have their second goal.
And it's officially a wrap right here on Easy Friday. Thank you so much for staying with us since 9 p.m. Thank you so much. Our sign language interpreter for the whole Easy Friday bulletin has been Ann Wangeshi. Don't go too far, because right after the bulletin, DJ Cool Jacks will be back with the Disco Funk Show. My name is Carren Kibbet. I'll see you next week on Easy Friday. I'll see you next week. Good night.
Imekamilika. 2026 tunaingia na matarajio mema ya kumiliki shamba, nyumba, magari na zawadi zingine nyingi kupitia usaidizi na kucheza kwako. Familia yote ya Tushinde tunawatakia kila laheri, na mwaka huu uwe mwaka wako wa baraka, bahati, afya njema na mafanikio.